So Maul, you've talked about, you and Whit were both talking about the fact that Maul keeps getting knocked down and gets back up again. But that clip released yesterday, which you can watch on IGN.com right now, the clip shows Maul seemingly sort of holding all the cards. Everything seems to be coming up Maul in that clip.
Yeah.
Could he talk about that and what his course might be this season after all he's gone through, as he's trying to regain this power, and how Ezra might be a big facet of that?
It's interesting. This is a little bit insider the know, which I haven't talked about. Maul wasn't actually meant to survive the Malachor episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of thought given to taking him out there, because a lot of the Malachor arc originally was more about Vader confronting Maul, and that was going to be a story about that. It became clear to me as the emotional content of the story was developed and we worked on it more that was just going to be wrong. That if anything happened to Maul, it needed to have its proper time and its proper space. So, yeah, that's how he kind of got a pass and survived into this season. And then, then you start to think more about the character and more things develop. His relationship with Ezra in last season's finale was, planned but also surprising, because Sam is so good at being that coercive person, and Taylor fed off of it. Because Taylor kind of lives in a world where he's not as knowledgeable about Star Wars itself as some of the more veteran fans, like Sam and Aya and Freddie. So the pull between kind of Freddie's knowledge of Star Wars and Sam's knowledge of Star Wars is very real, and Kanan's knowledge of the light side and Sam's knowledge of the dark side, or Maul's knowledge of the dark side. So we wanted to play that more. So you're going to see this kind of push and pull on Ezra. And Maul is kind of that influencer that's saying maybe power has a means to an end. Maybe this is a way to do things. And what's interesting is it's not really the Empire's side he's fighting on. He's just straight fighting on the side of power and darkness and the dark side. So it's a bit different than something we've seen before, which makes Maul kind of a different villain than we've ever seen before. He's not straight out with the main bad guy group. If the main bad guys saw him, they'd probably go after him too.
Right.
So he's got to be really shady and shadowy with everything he's doing. And he's almost better off trying to hang with those rebels, because they have morality which he can work to his advantage.
That all being said, you've got to eventually do Vader and Maul meeting up, right?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, I think you get worried. It sounds like a great idea, and then you start to develop it, and you're worried it's a little more fan servicey. So if it makes sense, it would happen, but I'd say it's unlikely.